Hey, welcome to another episode of Spontaneous Disruption. It is your girl, L.
And it's your host, Nikki.
Hi, Miss Host.
That sounds too close to host.
I know.
Hey,
what's up, host? With the most.
Not much. I'm chilling.
Tell me what you been up to. We both been like really busy.
Well, I haven't been as busy as you.
Yes.
Work's been busy, but it's always busy. Okay, yeah. It is what it is. But I mean, the weekends I've been handling business, but like last weekend was kind of fun. I went swimming.
When I hear fun stuff. How did the triathlon thing go? You did.
So the triathlon thing was dope. It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Self-imposed.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna try to do it like once a month. So you doing it with me?
Oh, sure. As soon as I can learn how to swim. What you want me to do? Run alongside you in the pool?
Yes.
Okay.
You can do water aerobics.
Okay.
But that will just force you to learn how to swim.
Yes, I'm gonna get there. I swear.
But you said you're gonna learn in like late fall or.
I am. I like to do stuff like that in the winter.
Yeah. Well, you gonna have to come out. Okay. So. Yeah, but the triathlon, I actually did that couple, like, it was I think it was the weekend or so before. And then it was cool. I finished it.
How long did it take you?
If you add up all my times, I think it took me about 2.5 hours.
Not bad. It's a good workout.
Not bad. However, my run is like super slow.
Yeah.
So I got to build my run up, but that's fine. I'm a heavy girl. I'm a big girl. So like, I'm a slow runner.
You're losing though. Face getting all skinny.
I'm losing. I can see now that I'm losing, but like on the scale, like it's not that much.
Yeah. So
I think I'm losing inches, but not really losing a whole lot of weight. But I'm getting there. I'm gonna get there.
Yep.
It's gonna happen.
Yes.
My swim was good. I think it was pretty good. It was only like 30-some minutes, but it was like in the pool, it was about 31.5 laps.
Wow. That's dope.
And then let's see.
I'm impressed.
The bike was good too.
Yeah.
I had a brief intermission because my leg cramped up.
Oof.
I had to stop and give me some Gatorade.
You're doing too much.
I wouldn't be able to do that in like a real triathlon event.
That's why I said self-imposed people. She's doing this on her own.
But it made me kind of look into like, maybe I should consider doing one for real. But the thing is, I'm not doing like lakes or open water, so it'd have to be like the swim kind.
Yeah.
The pool based. But other than that, no, I did a water aerobics class at the gym, which I haven't done in years, and I burned almost 700 calories, man.
That's dope. Yeah. Good for you.
And anybody can do it. You don't have to be a swimmer.
Yes, I know. I've seen people do those classes. Yeah.
If you just want to switch it up, do something. Come on Saturday mornings.
Oh, good. Yeah. I like it.
And then I did Funk Fest.
Yes. You did both days. Oh, my goodness. Yes. You always are an overachiever. 2 nights in a row. It was so hot here in Atlanta.
It was hot.
Man, that Saturday was burning up. So
if I take my watch off, you'll see I'm two-tone right now.
Girl, it was so hot. And yeah, there's not really much of an overhang out there at Wolf Creek. But yeah.
Zero. Not even for the people who got the little expensive tables.
I know. I noticed that. So crazy. I was good on that on Saturday. Sunday was nice. Sunday was nice. Chilly. By the time we left, I was like, ooh.
Huh. Oh, by the evening.
Yeah.
I didn't get there until, I don't know, maybe like 15, 20 minutes before Erykah Badu.
Really? You got there that late? I didn't know that.
It was even after you. I think you had said.
Yeah, when I got there, Big Boy was there.
I was like just getting dressed. I was,
Yeah.
I was late.
Mm-hmm.
I ate. I had to take care of all my domesticities.
I ain't mad at you.
And I was like, I'll get to it when I get to it. Because she really was the only one I wanted to see.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the first night I was there all night. Very cool. About you? What you been up to?
Girl,
you ain't been home. You ain't been home.
I am exhausted. Of course, I was in Chicago for 10 days. And then I left Chicago and we went to Curacao. Yeah, me and the babe, we went to Curacao to celebrate his birthday, and we ended up being there for six days.
Yeah.
So that was beautiful. Really enjoyed that.
And see some Instagrammable pictures.
I have got to show you some pictures. I'm just trying to rest up right now because right after that,
so you'll get to it.
My family was in town when I landed because we actually stayed an extra day because of Hurricane Debbie affected our connection in Miami. So we stayed an extra day, got home at midnight. My family had already gotten in my house. Thank you so much for helping to get them in with the extra key.
Break-ins are my specialty.
Yes, I know. Undercover crook. But anyway, so yeah, they were there, and then they've been here in Atlanta for 6 days. I've been entertaining.
I can't believe they stayed so long.
Yes, they did. The last of them left. My sister and her daughter, my niece, they left this morning.
Was it an occasion I was not aware of?
No, well, it was my brother decided he wanted to come for his birthday, which is August 11th. So he came for his birthday, and at first it was just supposed to be him and my mom and one of his sons, but girl, he brought his wife, his other daughter, his other son, his grandbabies came. I mean, it literally ended up being all my siblings, my mom, and my siblings, their kids, and then their kids. So I had my nieces and nephews and their kids. So I had my great nieces and nephews stop by. Girl, I had so many people in my house. We were packed up in that bad boy.
That was a family reunion.
But I didn't really I had been just going and going. I didn't really grasp or appreciate that until my sister left this morning. I actually started crying tears of joy. I was like, oh my God, my whole family. And we didn't even take many pictures at all. Like my whole family.
But what's crazy
my
is
immediate was there.
You also got to spend some time, with the exception of one of your sisters, when you were up in Chicago.
Yes.
And then
that's what one of my sister was like, I might not even come because I just saw you. But then they came anyway, and we really enjoyed. We cooked, barbecued. We went to the Funk Fest, and it was all love. It was really it was a rare occurrence, and I can appreciate that now looking back. I wish I would have been more in the moment, but I had a great time.
That's good.
Now I need to rest.
It's going to take you a month to recover.
Girl, I know. And we're already talking about going to the Chicago takeover in Houston for the Bears.
Really? What's that?
The Bears Houston game.
Oh,
Chicago picks a city every year to take over during the football season.
Y'all ain't taking over nothing.
We
in
do,
Texas.
girl. We just took over Atlanta 2-3 times. We taking over LA. We definitely will be taking over Texas.
Y'all ain't taking over nothing in Texas.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing. Don't mess with Texas.
We about to mess with Texas. But yeah. So we're supposed to be doing that in September. I think that's the weekend, September 15th, 16th. I don't know, girl. Cool. I just been going. It has been a busy year of just traveling and seeing people for me this year. It's wild. But I'm enjoying myself. It's been a wild ride since my birthday, actually. I've been just freaking going all summer.
I've been relatively grounded myself. I haven't been I've been on a few trips, but not anything major. But
you got one coming up for your birthday, which is really, really awesome. So yeah, it's part of business, but you're gonna enjoy yourself as well, right?
Calling it business.
Yeah, we call it business. Yeah, you standing on business. Yeah, so
no, it is.
All right, so you ready to get started with this show?
Let's get it.
All right, let's get it. Let's start with technically speaking. What you got, sis?
I want to talk about these UK riots, but just and what they stem from. So obviously there's been this stabber, serial stabber who is on the loose in the UK, and authorities finally caught up with him, and they did release that he was a UK national. However, rumors that started on the platform X, formerly known as Twitter, incited some riots because it was rumored that the person that they caught was an immigrant. All the far right, anti-immigrant, faction was up in arms about this because it was children, being stabbed and all this kind of stuff. Crazy. And they tore the city up, child. They tore it up. So
this all occurred and it apparently was false.
It was false. And so what it has sparked really is kind of a debate and a discussion within the UK, which we really should be having here and everywhere, right? Anywhere social media touches, is that, what kind of regulations are we putting on them? What kind of responsibility are we placing on the platforms to moderate some of these discussions, to fact check? It used to be before Elon Musk took over. Twitter was trying to be more responsible and better about that, putting labels on different posts. Now anything goes. Even Elon Musk himself is guilty of posting,
Girl,
untrue statements.
Do you wonder if it's even possible? Is it possible to regulate every person? You have people across the world that are on social media spreading all kinds of
I don't think it's possible, but I think that to the extent that platforms don't take any responsibility for moderating, for trying to stamp it out and trying to correct that, I feel like, hey, ban the apps.
Yeah, but I mean,
ban them.
Yeah, either that or, I mean, if you see a post is getting a lot of attention, there's got to be some sort of tracking on that, I guess. So if something is getting a lot of attention, you should be able to kind of cut it off at some point. I don't want to say cut it off because I'm not saying people shouldn't have free speech and things like that, but you should be able to get ahead of it and say, hey, this is fake, take it down, or whatever, whatever disclaimer they can put out there. I don't know.
I also feel like some of the disclaimers that I've seen on different platforms say, hey, warning, sensitive, or hey, warning, fact check, whatever. It's not too just direct and explicit that this is false.
Yeah.
This is a lie. Like, say that versus like, hey, well, it's been found that, this opposite, narrative.
I wonder even if they did that with that work. People believe what they want to. Let's just talk about the election. What they want to. The election, and we've repeatedly said, and I think social media platforms have repeatedly said that there's no evidence that, it's not true that the election was stolen. And some people, I don't care what you tell them, they just believe it. I don't know. People are just, and they don't read either. So
that's true. And you can't believe everything you read.
It's a mob mentality.
Source, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Girl.
I don't know, man. But all I know is they got to stop tearing up stuff. Those thugs.
They're thugs.
They get mad when they're
I know, but sorry to call it BLM folks thugs. So we definitely had things to be angry about in that situation, for sure.
And I guess the last thing I would just want to say about that is I'm anti-illegal immigration, but I'm for it. Like, I'm okay with legal immigration. So these people
through the proper channels
are being extreme when, it was real easy to fact check this particular thing and understand that this person, one, was a national.
Yeah.
And then additionally, why are you so extreme against people who are immigrants? Like, you need to be very distinct about your anti-immigration stance. Is it anti-illegal immigration or anti-immigration? And there's nothing wrong with legal immigration.
Agreed. All right. So speaking of X and the spreading of falsehoods, Elon Musk himself has made a deepfake ad go viral, sparking debate about parody and free speech. Okay. So him again. So I looked at this little video. It was from a recent ad that Kamala Harris released, and it was, of course, edited. There's been 931,000 views the last time I saw it. So it's a deep fake of Kamala. And again, it violates X's own policy. So you have the leader here, the owner of X, violating his own policy. Okay. It's digitally altered campaign, and there's no context around it stating that it was not real. I don't know if you had a chance to see it.
I saw it.
Girl, but it was long too, but the video that he shared alters her campaign video, and it has her, saying things that she didn't, and the manipulated clip, it has her saying things like she's the ultimate diversity hire.
Yeah.
She had 4 years under the tutelage of the ultimate deep state puppet, her wonderful mentor, Joe Biden. It's just like craziness. Talking about how radical she is.
He has no cut card. Like,
I don't understand.
No morals.
Yeah, he has. I don't understand. He's trying to pinky in the brain. He's trying to take over the world. He's trying to control people's brains. That's why I don't understand why anybody would let him put a chip in their brain.
Yeah.
So that's just the beginning of it all. But apparently this video came from another account. But the account that originally posted it said that the Harris campaign ad was a parody. There was a disclaimer. But he himself did not add this disclaimer. He just posted the video and said, "This is amazing," with the laughing emoji.
Sounds right. Yeah.
So I think what he says is, hey, last time I checked, parody was not illegal or against the law. But I'm like, okay, you're violating your own policies. You have the power to change them if that's what you want to do. So why are you? I don't get it. I don't really get it.
To the extent it works for him and who he's supporting, he doesn't care.
Does not care. So anyway, that's enough for social media is going to be the downfall of this world if we don't get it under control.
Girl, the cat's out of the bag. I don't know what's going to happen.
The cat is really out the bag. It's bad enough the internet, they didn't put guardrails around that. I'm just really specifically wondering when we're going to hear from, our government about what they're going to do about this.
Our government's one of the worst as it relates to like
They're
regulating
so
any
behind.
kind of social mediums, internet, like
But
channels.
the world is getting crazier.
They're relying on companies
more unstable
to
I don't
do
use the
it,
word crazy,
but they're not requiring them to do certain things.
Yeah.
To be responsible.
And the other thing is the people who are posting these things that are confusing people who may not have the strongest of minds or the best intelligence. The folks that are posting this stuff and damaging other people and radicalizing people are not, they're like, okay, what's going to happen to me?
Yeah.
Nothing. They're just
Super
out here
basic.
still doing it.
Seems like it should be like no brainer that they should regulate this at the very least and enforce those regulations.
Not rocket science, people. Figure it out. All right, so let's get into some low vibration news. Child, low vibration news is it's hitting a little close to home, although not quite as close. But let's discuss America's worst mayor.
Who that is?
That is. Okay.
Why is she labeled that, though?
Girl.
Do you know?
Yes. Okay. I'm about to let you know.
All
right. We're talking about the mayor of Dolton, Illinois, which is a small suburb outside of Chicago. Not very far outside. Maybe 20, 30 minutes. Not very far. I know plenty of folks that live in Dolton. I've been out there a billion times myself. But their mayor, her name is Tiffany Henyard. Okay. So the former mayor of Chicago, who was Lori Lightfoot, Auntie Lori, that's what we used to call her. She was hired as a special investigator to look into the finances of the town of Dolton, Illinois, and specifically the spending by the mayor, Tiffany Henyard. Okay, so in these initial findings, they found that Tiffany's spending has placed the town at a major deficit. According to the report, Dolton had a $5.6 million budget surplus in April of 2022. A year after Henyard's election, so yeah, the money was there, but then that quickly changed. All right. So the village is now at $3.6 million in debt. How that happen? How that is? In like what, a year and a half or so? Yeah, that's a lot of coins. So the investigation revealed that thousands of dollars were spent on the village's credit cards. There were 9 domestic trips taken by Ms. Henyard and other town employees. There was $43,000 spent on Amazon in one day, girl. How do you spend? I've never even seen $43,000 worth of stuff on Amazon.
I think I could.
I think I could
the challenge.
She probably caught Prime Day, so maybe it was on sale. It could have been 86. I don't know. Maybe she got 50% off. I don't know, but she spent $43,000 in one day. $8,000 of the purchases at Wayfair. I guess she needed some furniture and stuff.
She was on some Oprah stuff, right?
And only $2,000 spent at Best Buy. I would have thought she'd spend more than that on the whole entertainment system. So, wow, this is crazy. But her other questionable spending include there were 2 police officers who each doubled their base pay in 2024 by ringing up 6 figures of overtime apiece. Girl, how do you?
I counted up all the overtime that I've worked in the past like 10, 15 years. Yeah, I probably would be old.
But girl, look here. How about that they were actually salaried? They didn't even get overtime. So how were they even doing that? I have no idea.
Well, that's what I mean, man. I'm salaried, but if I actually got paid for the overtime, so I'm just saying I'm not really sure how they did that.
I don't know how nobody was minding the store.
Clearly not.
I know, and it's so sad because she's a sister, and I think she's probably fairly young, maybe in her early 40s. Mm-hmm. But yeah, she made a mockery of the whole thing, and now the town is not even able to pay some of their basic bills. It's really, really sad. And she's still the mayor.
That is the sad part.
She's still the mayor. She ain't been fired.
And they should be able to like remove her from office. You know?
I don't know what's happening. So this recently happened, and from what I understand now, those 2 officers that were able to give themselves over 106 figures, I guess, and overtime, they are being investigated and charges fired, of course, and charges brought up against them.
Yeah.
From what I understand, the FBI is involved, but from what I'm hearing, last I saw and read, they said she is nowhere to be found. They've called her office and they just said she is not in.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've only seen her, and I've just heard the conspiracies and corruption. There is alleged corruption about, her spending habits on herself, her personally, like trips and all that kind of stuff. And
I feel so bad for the taxpayers. The
Yes.
people, they suffer the most. I mean, think
Yes.
about schools and teachers and all these
4
people that need to
million,
get paid.
6 million on like, you know, there's 6 million on like, you know,
Yeah, they went to Vegas
overtime.
too. I read they had gone to Vegas.
The
Did you read
Vegas
about
trip?
the Vegas
Yes.
trip? And then one
Yes.
I think a young lady was sexually harassed and she reported it and ended up getting fired.
She retaliated against her.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's just insane. We have to do better. When we get into these positions of power, you know, do it. You know, you have to do the right thing. You get into these because the people and your people, black and brown people or minorities, are usually the ones that get hurt in situations like this. So shame on you, Tiffany Henyard. Baby, you better run, baby, run, because the feds is watching. I don't know where she gonna end up. She got money to end up somewhere though, I guess. So shame on her.
She gonna get it.
She gonna get it. Yeah. Somebody gonna squeal on her. I know if I see her somewhere in the ATL skulking around, I'm telling.
She might come down here and get her hair done.
Oh, you stupid. Get some body work done. That's why they come. You want to get your lace front real tight and, you know, get your body right. ATL's the place.
Plastic surgeon.
But anywho, so all right, let's get into some highlights. What you got, girl?
Oh, like a little highlight about Metro Boomin. You know
him.
Producer. Award-winning producer, Grammy award-winning producer.
Mega producer.
With really big stars like Future,
recently, Kendrick Lamar, and Future.
Lamar. Yeah, he was involved in that whole
the beef,
rap beef that happened, and he was on the winning side.
Yes.
But yeah, so he's done something pretty cool. He was raised by a single mom, and her name was Leslie Joanne. She passed away in 2022 after a battle, I think, with cancer.
Prayers. Yeah, I know what it's like to lose a parent, man. It's tough, as you do as well.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely. Yeah. Well, he has started a grant program in his mother's name. It's called Leslie Joanne Single Moms Are Superheroes.
That's beautiful.
And he is providing $20,000 grants and concert tickets to nonprofits that are supporting single mothers. All in, like, he's got a tour coming up or ongoing, and that he is doing these awards with. So I don't know how he's just gonna pull them up on stage. I'm not really sure how he's gonna do it, but basically he said that was his inspiration, and so I think that's dope.
I think that is dope. You know, he loved his mama. Folks love their mama, and her name will live on. So
we're gonna add philanthropists to his list of accomplishments and hats.
I like it. Congratulations. All right, Miss Lady, let's get into the Internet of Things. Let's see what's thinking on the internet.
What it do?
So, finally, we hear from Miss Young Miami. She's breaking her silence on claims against Diddy. Okay?
She could have kept that intact.
Baby. So, I was wondering if her show was actually going to come back on Revolt. But Carisha Please return. So, you know, that's her born name, Carisha Brownlee, Young Miami. She's 30 years old.
I love her voice, though. I really actually do love her voice.
She has a very, very Miami voice.
It's distinct.
Oh, my goodness. And she the one that has everybody saying she got flued out. Get flued out.
I've used that as well.
Yes. So, yeah. So she is now speaking out. She was asked by Saucy Santana, whom we love.
I don't know about that.
I love. He's so saucy.
He is funny. Like, he's funny. I did see the interview that they had, but
yes,
I say I don't know about that because he is such a player.
Well,
he is such a player.
Players gonna play. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Saucy.
He be breaking hearts.
I know. Amen. Yeah, I done broke a heart or two about time. He'll grow.
Hopefully.
But anyway, so yeah, he was on the show and he questioned her, you know, and they talked about her mental health and her experience dating Diddy. Okay. So he asked her why she didn't speak out over the past year as various lawsuits that accused him of rape and assaulting and sex trafficking. And I guess, you know, she said, hey, she didn't have that same experience with him, so she didn't feel like she could speak on something that wasn't her experience. Okay.
Because I guess the R. Kelly treatment that she got was consensual.
Oh, pee on me, yeah. Yuck. But she said she liked it.
She said she used to talk publicly about that, how, you know, Diddy peed on her. And
yeah, she said she liked her golden shower. That was so funny. Trina's face. Trina's face was like, girl, no.
Embarrassing. Like, keep that in your bedroom. Girl. Like, you know.
Yeah, but she said she can't speak on allegations because it didn't happen, you know, around her. But the thing also she stated was that She was with Diddy when he was at a pretty good high in his life. Everybody was celebrating him at the time. He had a new album that was coming out, so the world was celebrating him. You know, he had gotten some icon award. You know, that people were celebrating him around the world. So she said, "Why am I being crucified?" You know, or why is she being separated out? And I feel like she probably was, because you're a woman, girl. Because you're a woman, and he did these things to women.
Kind of like commiserate with the women who have been, who have been assaulted.
Yeah. Or even his first baby mama, Diddy's first baby mama, said, "Oh my God, you know, he needs help." Yeah.
If nothing else, like, she can acknowledge that, it's wrong or whatever. So it's not really like, oh, well, he didn't do that to me. It's apparent now, like, there's no question that he's actually guilty of some things, right?
There's no longer a question.
At least,
and you were
at
late
least
to
be,
him. And with all this stuff hit
against that.
Exactly. When all that stuff hit, you were still known to be one of his girlfriends. Apparently he has a stable of them. I don't know.
The biggest issue I have with how she handled things is that she just completely just like fell off.
She went
like
dark.
she went dark.
And I think as a woman, I would have to speak out for it. But she said she was struggling mentally as well. I'm sure she was dating. But, I mean, I don't know. That video of what he was doing to Cassie was disgusting. I don't know if I could just be silent. I guess she just felt like, I don't know. Maybe she just felt like she didn't want to kick him when he was already down. They were in a relationship. She had a specific amount of love for him. But I still would have said, like, I'm still processing this. This is a lot. It's horrible, and I should not have happened. And I don't support any sort of domestic violence. She could have said something, but I don't know. Yeah, but that's that on that, honey, Carisha. So we'll see.
That's why her career and her image was a little bit hurt.
Yeah,
as a result of it.
It'll be interesting to see where she goes now, because now that the City Girls have broken up, I don't know. I've never really gotten into Carisha Please. I hear it's a good video podcast. It's not. I mean, she's too young for me. So I just like when she's talking about getting peed on and they just get drunk and be talking about sleeping with each other. I'm just like, I'm too old for this conversation. Yeah. But anyway, what you got, girl?
Well, you have to be living under a rock to not hear about Serena Williams and her experience at a famous, well, I would say not really a famous restaurant, but
it was a restaurant
famed
in Paris.
Restaurant in Paris
during the Olympics, right? Everybody was there.
I think it's called the Peninsula Paris or whatever.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a famous hotel, the Peninsula Hotel, maybe.
But no, it might be within the Peninsula Hotel, but the restaurant's called Peninsula. And basically, she claimed that she was denied entry. So the way this happened is she went to the restaurant, she had her kids with her. She showed up and they couldn't seat her. Supposedly the restaurant has come out and said, well, they were fully booked or whatever. But she tweeted about this. She said, "Yikes, Peninsula Paris. I've been denied access to rooftop to eat in an empty restaurant of nicer places, but never with my kids. Always a first. Olympic 2024. So
she knew what she was doing when she posted that.
Exactly. And I think that was in poor taste because honestly, but I also think the restaurant has come out and said the guy who told her would basically, you can have a seat in the bar area while we get a table or whatever, or wait for a table, but we're fully booked. They have come out and said, well, there were only 2 empty tables and the tables you saw were in a particular area and they were booked off or whatever. And the part that I don't really believe from them is that the person who told her this was he said he didn't recognize Serena Williams. So I'm like,
so either you got a table or you don't.
Maybe. I mean, like, come on.
You have a table. So would you have had a table if you recognize her?
Has Serena played in the French Open? Like, you know who Serena Williams is. Come on.
Hey, I've seen her without makeup, so I don't know who she is. I tend to know her more without makeup than with makeup, so I'm not sure.
I can recognize Serena Williams with or without makeup. She's been in the public eye for decades. Since she was a child. She is known all over the world. She's played in the Olympics. Yeah. She's a very public figure. Either way, I don't feel like that entitles her to a table that is reserved for other people. They say that larger restaurants
what I didn't like about her doing that.
Like seating, right. Like it's the entitlement for me.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, I didn't like that, but I also didn't like the lie. Y'all knew what it was. Y'all knew it was her.
And I don't like seeing kids in restaurants that ain't age appropriate for kids. I'm just gonna say that. Sorry, Serena.
How do we know that? I don't even know this restaurant. Do you know it?
Like, I'm just kidding a little bit, but yeah.
It was a rooftop eatery, supposedly.
Yeah,
you know, like and she said, and she also said it was empty. It wasn't empty. There were a few empty tables. Like, it doesn't mean it's empty, ma'am. You know,
exactly.
Like you said, she knew what she was doing.
Yeah,
Come on.
she knew what she was doing when she posted.
She was trying to get everybody, but it actually backfired on her because she got a lot of criticism from the public, Serena, from people saying like,
I don't agree with this one,
ma'am. You know, that's how
they said. Know the rules, boo. Know the rules.
Make a reservation.
So, all right, well, hey, you know, I'm kind of proud of the restaurant because sometimes they just, you know, they don't want to go back and forth with a celebrity, but then all of a sudden, I mean, she's a huge celebrity. Like, you don't want that out there. And then you definitely don't want the illusion that there's some sort of racist thing going on. You got to get ahead of that too. So I'm kind of like, good for them. Good on them.
I think their response was appropriate.
It was measured. Yeah. They were good. They were not just respectful to her at all. I didn't think either.
No, and they weren't dismissive either. You know, so.
All right, you would have had to be living under two rocks not to know that Kamala Harris has picked Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. It's Walz, people. Stop saying waltz. Okay, it's not the dance waltz. It's Walz. Okay. He is a former high school social studies teacher, a coach. He was a coach and a congressman. He served in the Nebraska and Minnesota Army National Guards. All right. So he's the Democratic nominee for president. So some of the things that, you know, he said about himself, I don't know much about him. He said, you know, while teaching and coaching in Minnesota, he became the faculty advisor for Mankato West High School's first gay-straight alliance. He has spoken about his family's journey with fertility treatments, including in vitro or IVF, before welcoming his kids. During his time as governor, he was able to codify abortion rights into law. He increased transgender rights protections. He passed the marijuana legalization bill and installed new gun safety laws. So these are some of the things he's touting. I don't know a whole lot about him. I know that there's been a lot of back and forth about his military record.
I know he also passed the free tampons law where there's free tampons in both men's and women's bathrooms for transgender boys.
They don't have periods. Why they got tampons?
So transgender boys are born with female anatomy.
Yeah, I was confused for a second. Yeah. I get confused from time to time. People, leave me alone. I got confused.
It's a lot to keep up with.
Yes, it is. I'm like, why are tampons in the boys' bathroom?
A lot to understand.
But oh my goodness, that's very progressive. Huh. Okay. Free tampons for everybody.
That's what it's known for.
All right. Yeah. I'm not mad about it.
Why don't they just put them outside in like a little stand outside? You could just like get them through a vending machine.
I know.
If you need it, go on and get that. You know? I mean, because like, why not have stand-up stalls in the women's restrooms too? Like, you know what I mean? Get those retrofitted for.
Oh yeah. That's a great point well.
Why not just have all unisex bathrooms? Like, period.
I like restaurants like that, and I've seen restaurants like that where it's not like it's not gender specific.
Although the men sometimes miss the bowl.
They do.
Yeah,
but it's usually a bathroom that only has one stall, so you just go in there. You ain't got to be in there with.
Yeah, it's like a single. It's like a kind of toilet you would have at home. Yeah, but y'all be missing.
All right. Well, we'll see what Mr. Walz does. You know, I don't know. I'll be interested to see the debate between he and JD Vance. Well, what's interesting too, I think Trump picked JD Vance and then he said it doesn't matter. You vote for the president, you don't vote for the vice president. So I think he might be having a little bit of regret about who he selected. We'll see.
JD Vance.
Yes.
JD Vance has just like had all type of like controversy swirling around him.
He just need to hush, honey.
Yeah.
He's bringing down a ticket. It's already down to the ground for most people.
Yeah, and I think the Republicans, rightly so, are very much worried about like the Democrats and their opposition.
Yeah, I mean, because Kamala came out guns blazing. I mean,
I do want to see the debate. I mean, I did watch the Biden and Trump debate, and
that
was a dumpster fire. So I want to see this one too.
So yeah, I'll see.
I think they're supposed to have 3 debates. I don't know, girl, but I'm gonna watch it.
Interesting. So we'll see what happens. But she's on his heels. I think he maybe a couple points ahead of her in certain swing states. We'll see.
Yeah.
But the tag can turn.
Several
He's
states
got to
looking
watch
purple.
his mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, let's get into our main topic.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about how to curate the life that you want.
I haven't learned this yet.
Me either. But this is something that we're going to learn together.
I'm
right?
working on it. I'm working on it.
I am working on it as well. And actually, that's part of beginning your journey to curating the life that you want.
Yeah.
It makes me, when I think about curating the life I want, it kind of makes me think about manifestation, but in a way also just makes me think about doing things that align with what your goals are. So the most important thing, of course, is to outline what your goals are. Like, what is it that you want to happen in your life? What kind of life do you actually want? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you know that you want to be healthy and, you want to, be physically fit, you can't go out and be eating burgers and fries every day. So you can't do anything that's counterproductive to those goals, right?
Yeah.
But I think I don't know why so late in life you start. Well, maybe for some people. I'm jealous of people who always knew what they wanted. Like Beyonce always knew she wanted to be a superstar. And it looks like to me she did everything right.
Yeah.
And so I'm always like jealous of those people. Like, how do you know, like off the top,
what you want to do?
What you want to do, and you just take those steps from childhood. Even like we were talking about Serena Williams, like her dad had a plan for their entire life for years. Mm-hmm. And they were able to execute those things to have the life that they want. Yeah.
But I think, what you were just saying, being envious of people who've known all their life or whatever their purpose, whatever they want things to look like. Mm-hmm. I think also it's possible that as you grow and age that you have different phases of your life and that you want to curate something different for this phase of your life, right?
Oh,
so
I like that.
For 20s, I was hustle hard, whatever.
Yeah.
And then my 30s, it was kind of like, trying to be married with children, but it ended up just being married and then divorced. But you know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So what does it look like now? I'm in a different era, right, of my life. And what do I want that to look like? And then what am I wanting that to look like beyond that? Because, I don't know how much time I got left,
Yeah, you would never know.
None of us know.
Yeah. And I also think about how I was raised. I think about how parents sometimes can muck up their kids. Like during my era, my parents were like, okay, you go to school, you get your degree, you get a job, and that's it.
Yeah.
I wasn't really encouraged to live a dream that I had or at all. It was just like, just get a job and, pay for your living and, you good. And so I learned late in life that I could actually I can actually have agency over my own life. I can actually, do something different from what they raised me to do. That was also a challenge I had to get past.
So this has come up a little bit lately, not this specific topic, but just in hiring for some different roles, which would probably, given the level of experience that's required for them, which only being maybe about 3 years that I've seen for a couple of positions, that the applications for them are really slow. Yeah. And it's not just in my area, it's in other areas too, right? Mm-hmm. But the current generation, the really late millennials and the generation after them, they do dream and envision what they want. That's all they do, right?
That's all they do.
That's all they do.
They have poor execution.
Right. The execution may not necessarily be there, but it's for some of them it is. Some of them have mentors and have pushed them in the right direction. They've had opportunities that they've taken advantage of and just really, I don't know, curated what they wanted their lives to look like. They've been able to do that successfully.
And the one thing that I've had to try to convince myself, and you and I have had this conversation, is that it's not too late.
Absolutely not.
Because I'm always like, oh my God, I'm so deep in my career already. I make a specific amount of money that allows me to live comfortably. Can I really switch? And I can. I just have to set those things up. I need to set, first of all, I need to decide what it is. I need to write it down and create a plan for myself.
Yeah.
And then I need to go about executing those things. I need to make some decisions based on that. Like if there's, say no to the things that aren't going to get me to where I need to be.
Yeah.
On the path that I want to be on.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I'm working on.
When I think about like curating, like it's not for me just like centered around
career.
Job.
Yeah, I was going to say personally that too.
It's more so like other things.
Yeah.
Right. It's, I need to make money. I need to sustain. I need to,
yeah.
Build wealth or whatever. Right. But it doesn't, I'm not even thinking about like the job and the mechanism for like how to do that. It's like, what I want to wake up in the morning and go take Pilates and like, you know what I mean? I want to travel like once a month. I want to go somewhere, things, or quarterly or whatever it is, I want to eat healthy. I want to eat really,
I'm trying to get fit too, more fit.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I like you said, it's not always career based. Also, I'm trying to do that in my personal life too. I was having a conversation with my sister, and my brother came down with his family, and sometimes it's not always easy, smooth sailing with his family. There's just like a lot of moving parts, a lot of things going on, and my mom is, she wants everybody to be kumbaya all the time. And she knows me, and, we've talked about this on the podcast. I went through a little bit of a depression before, and now I'm really, really intentional about my peace.
Yes.
And I protect my peace. And it's so interesting sometimes when people, they want you to do a specific thing because they want you to do it, but then they'll talk down like, well, I know you want to protect your peace. I'm like, yeah, you damn right I do. I do want to protect my peace. Why are you making it sound like a bad thing?
About that.
Because you just don't want to be bothered type of thing. No, if you're bringing chaos into my life,
right,
and creating an unstable situation for me mentally that I don't want to be in, no, I'm not going to do it. So I have learned to do it in my personal life. I'm just trying to curate what I want career wise.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit more focused on that. It's better personally, because I never ever want to be in a bad place ever again, because I don't have to be.
Yeah.
So I'm making choices that don't put me in that situation, and I'm proud of myself for that.
Yeah, me, obviously with what I've gone through, like with around my house, like there was kind of a destabilization for me.
Amen.
Home wise, personal wise. I think I've more so gotten control of that. Whereas a lot of the people I think really would have crumbled in my situation.
I think you were having some stressful things that were going on too. I could just remember physically, and I was just like, I know this is a reaction to all the stress that you're under, and you did, girl. You did not crack.
But it's also
there
was a very difficult,
it was a lot
time, and then also
I was ready to go find somebody and hurt them for you.
I was so ready to just be done with like being in a state of construction. I still have more stuff to do.
Oh, absolutely.
But at the same time, like I feel a little bit more like stable. I feel like I can, go to a funk fest if I want to on the weekend and not really worry about it, and not have like a million things to do for my house and whatever. But I too don't think that I'm exactly where I want to be and need to be. But so I'm working on I'm curating the vision. Like I'm basically kind of like it's coming into focus basically for me.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And but I don't quite have the picture yet.
Yeah.
So and I do think it's because it's a different phase of life, and like what am I focused on?
Yeah.
So yeah. I feel like work is a little bit like autopilot in a way.
Yes.
But that's like good for me. I think that's good and bad in a way.
I was gonna say it's bad in a way too, because I was thinking about that today as I was, I was so tired today. I wasn't as working like I should work today. I work from home. Y'all don't hear that, but I was just, really, really tired, and I just started thinking. I was like, there's so many things I need to do and get done at work, and I want to continue to grow at work, but I also have my personal objectives. But I'm gonna figure it out to just figure out how to balance everything, because I do want to grow. I don't want to just sit there and be there. My job is like a career. It's not like that job,
Exactly.
So, and I want to excel at any and everything I do. I want to be good at it. And if I can excel and I don't want to do it no more, I want to do something else. I'm not going to waste nobody's time. Mine or theirs.
Yeah.
I'm just not I'm just walking in here to get a check kind of girl.
Yeah.
No. I'm just not. That's not who I am.
And we don't even have those type of jobs. You know what I mean?
And that's why, because we
don't
those type of people.
Okay. We don't even have those type of jobs.
So yeah. But look at us having grown girl conversations.
Yes.
Grown woman. I love it though. I love it. And so I just want to say my final thing about that is that it's never too late to curate the life that you want. And I think it's important to make sure that you're doing things in your life that align with whatever those goals are,
Yeah. So I would to that point when you say like do things to align with those goals. So like as you talk about curating and stuff like that, my last point on this is really actually take the steps, like do the actions in order to move you there, right? So if I want to be doing Pilates, like I gotta actually find me a Pilates class, like I was gonna sign up,
write down your priorities and execution.
Yeah,
it's very important, people.
Yeah, you have to you have to have a plan.
It's like that swim thing. but it's crazy, like divine connection. I'm meeting all these
like
people who
though.
say they can help me, and it's because I put it out there. I put it out there, and I'm actually really serious about it. I'm tired of not being able to swim. A little black girl from the south side of Chicago can't swim.
At least you're not afraid to get in the water. It's pretty
no,
afraid to get in the water.
I am not. So all right, people. So commit to some goals in your lives, folks. Protect those things that matter to you. Write things down if you need to. Yeah, and then go about trying to execute those things. Let these, let your goals guide your decisions in your life. So yeah. Yep. What do you want to say about that?
Yep.
Right, and finally we get to each one teach one. What'd you get?
So what I have. No, I didn't just make this up, but like, I think. And I don't want to give away like anything personal about anybody in particular. It's more so like talking to a friend who was disappointed in themselves, frustrated with themselves because they couldn't do something anymore. And my point, and then my each one teach one, is that your expectations need to be recalibrated, because ultimately, like as you progress in life, things are changing, right? Like you have to expect change, not only just around you, but within you. So expect yourself to change. That may be that things are, limitations are imposed on you, as you may not be able to stand as long as you could before, or run as long or fast,
Amen.
Yeah. So be accepting and be a bit more kind, with yourself about that, and don't expect everything to stay the same all the time. I just think what you can expect is change.
Because I'm so hard on myself too, because I can't run like I used to. Remember I told you I used to run like 6 miles a day. I can't, girl.
Yeah,
I
can't lose weight like I used to.
Oh, I'm definitely there. It's very difficult once you get to a woman of a particular age. It is very difficult. I used to be able to do a specific thing or two, and then it'll start dropping. But now, girl, that scale laugh at me every time I step on it. Like, really, you thought this? I got 4 ounces for you, boo. No, so it's a lot. So I had to recalibrate my expectations and I have. And now my goals are, I just really want to be healthy. Of course, I want to look a specific way too. I got a picture of me on my phone. I was like, I don't know if I'll ever look like that again. But I'm not gonna beat myself up if I can't.
Sometimes you just have to make the adjustments, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna make the adjustments. I'm gonna do what I can, and it's not about the look at this point in my life. I'm just trying to be healthy.
Yeah, I'm trying to look good and be healthy.
I'll be
if I can,
trying to look good anyway. That goes without saying. But yes, I like that. I'm gonna recalibrate my expectations in me and around me. I like that. Thank you. That's a good word, sis.
Cool.
All right. Okay. So my each one teach one really kind of ties to what we were discussing about curating the life that you want. And I will say this: at some point, you got to be real with yourself about the gap between the life that you want to live and the life your daily habits and choices are leading you toward.
Girl.
Amen. Okay.
There you go.
So, if you want a specific life for yourself, a specific thing to happen, you need to make some decisions that align with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
if you're putting the time in on one thing,
exactly, it makes no sense.
You mentioned saying no.
Absolutely. Some things you have to say no to, and some things you have to walk away from. It can be a tough decision, but you have to trust and believe. You know, I'm a believer in the Almighty and the Most High. So you have to just trust and believe and walk away from certain situations.
You do.
I mean, girl, there's just a situation I just think about in my mind about someone that wants love so badly that they're willing to accept love from someone who is, you know, they think is nice to them, but they say things that are contradictory to that to other people. They're just not a kind person, not nice. And they just stay in a situation, well, that person brings me flowers. You can bring your own self flowers, boo-boo. Flowers, you don't need more than that.
Yeah, those are roaches.
And so it's like, you have to, you know, you can't have it all. I learned that in my relationship. I used to think I couldn't have it all. I mean, you know, like I said, I didn't have a crazy, contentious, crazy marriage. You know, it ended and on very friendly terms. But, you know, there were specific things I thought I needed, and there were specific things I thought I could do without that I couldn't. And now, you know, I'm in a different situation, and I feel like I have it right.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
And I feel like sometimes, like, it's not even about demanding those things. It's just like not settling and then
not
attracting those things.
Goodness.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, nah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it's I think for sure saying no sometimes is critical. Saying yes sometimes is critical. And that gap that you talk about, it's going to vary. It's going to fluctuate in terms of where it is. You know, the post might move a little bit.
Be moving sometimes.
But some of it you're in control of. So,
absolutely.
You know, how you spend your time, how you manage your time, your most precious commodity, it's on you.
It's you. It's yourself, boo. All right, so that brings us to the end of our show. And we want to thank you for sticking with us as we continue to grow. You can listen and subscribe to the show on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We also invite you to like and follow us on IG and TikTok, and email us at spontaneousdisruption@gmail.com to chat with your hosts or propose topics for future episodes. With that, we'll see you next week, and we out.